past 10 years, everything paranormal has captured the attention of many people, invaded TV, radio, the books we read, movies, and even in the news. And the popularity seems to keep growing. No longer talked about in hushed voices or kept hidden, now people are talking around the proverbial water cooler with incidents that happened years ago or just yesterday. Seems many are curious and anxious to tell their stories about their own brush with the supernatural. I'm Jackie Meador, Director of Central California Paranormal Investigators, and this is my co-host, sensitive healer and Reiki Master of Casa del Curandero and partner in crime, because it's a crime we didn't do this sooner, Krista Erickson.
Thank you, Jackie. And yes, it is a crime we didn't do this sooner. But together we are going to be talking about things that go bump in the night and even during the day. We are going to take you to places that some say are haunted, meet those who hunt for ghosts, venture into the wilderness in search of Bigfoot, watch the skies for UFOs, discover metaphysical mysteries, and investigate urban legends. Those who are on a journey and committed to researching all manner of the paranormal. We hope you enjoy our special guests and discussions on various paranormal topics. You are watching Paranormal Journeys.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got something a little different for this episode of Journeys, so I hope you all enjoy it. As some of you know, our studio is here in the CMAC building in downtown Fresno. CMAC stands for Community Media Access Collaborative. Basically, it's where people in the Central California Valley can come, create, and produce their own TV productions. It's exciting and definitely an adventure, but it wasn't always the CMAC building. Before that, it was the Fresno Metropolitan Museum, and before that, it was the Fresno Bee newspaper. The Fresno Bee was founded in 1922 by the McClatchy brothers, Charles Kenny and Valentine Stewart. They moved into their newly built building on Van Ness Avenue in downtown Fresno the same year. In 1926, the McClatchys purchased an older Fresno newspaper, the Republican, which was founded in 1876, and finally, in 1932, the Bee merged the two. As for the building itself, it was originally designed as a modified palazzo in appearance, but the ornamentation was layered in a manner typical of Renaissance Revival commercial buildings designed during the 1920s. A raised basement, a terracotta tile mansard roof, and continuous Greek key detail along the raised base. These simple embellishments added to the triple arched entrance facing Van Ness Avenue. A row of executive suites and editorial offices opened onto the open-air loggia through Florentine doors and windows. With only minor repairs and alterations done for the first 14 years, the building underwent a major renovation in 1936, but still kept its original textural and ornamental patterns from its original facade. However, an extension was added in 1951 to accommodate a large press room and new entrance wing, which then compromised the integrity of the original design. As it stands today, in spite of that 1951 extension and departure from the original, a large part of the exterior remains intact and still a beautiful building. I'm glad it's been preserved instead of torn down. The newspaper finally moved to a newer facility in 1975, and our building remained vacant for several years when it became the Fresno Museum in 2008, and finally CMAC in 2012. Now, that's a brief architectural history, but there are other stories that we've heard about. It's supposedly haunted. As far back as 2000, I've heard a story about an older male spirit down in the basement where the newspaper morgue used to be. And the CMAC staff and members have been experiencing paranormal activity since April of 2012 when they moved in. Mysterious noises, creepy feelings on the third floor, being touched, and unexplained incidents in the studio. To tell us all about his brush with the supernatural, we welcome CMAC staff member Johnny Pacina. Hey,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Hi,
well,
good
thanks
to
for
see you.
being
Thank you for
here.
coming
Yes,
over.
thank you.
I know.
Yes,
Hug
it's
you,
long
hug,
over here,
hug.
kind of emerging from the shadows.
Yes.
Have a seat.
We want you to have your grand entrance.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
yes,
how many
that
times
was-
do you get to do that?
I know, right? Yeah.
Well, and we know, since we've been coming here, we know you've been telling us stories, and other people have been telling us stories about they're hearing things, they get creepy feelings, and so what's really going on?
Well, to me, it's a mystery, but I'm definitely one of those people, though. I have experienced some things here at the building. The first incident that happened was when I was closing up. And we have this procedure where we go through and we have to make sure, of course, all the doors are locked, everything is all, in place so that we can leave the building safely. And so everything checked in. I go downstairs. We leave through the bottommost floor, the first floor. It kind of has like a basement feel because it's slightly underground, as you mentioned, kind of how it was constructed in the past. And so as I left the elevator, we have to sort of check out at this computer, make sure everything checks in. As I was leaving the elevator, there's a back corner hallway area where I heard some mumbling. And it was really odd to me, and I tried to excuse and try to reason that it was someone outside, because sometimes in this area there's people that are outside of the building that'll end up, getting a sleeping bag and sleeping out there. But so I thought, okay, maybe it's just someone outside I need to watch out for. I looked through the window, though, there was no one. And it was a really odd sound. It sounded like a male voice. I couldn't really understand what he was saying. It sounded like maybe like a radio transmission of some sort. And it was really odd for me. And at the time I was a little nervous, so I didn't really stick around to really find out what it was. But I left the building, and Hope, our front desk person, I kind of joked with her. She's like, really, that happened? I was like, yeah, watch the surveillance footage. So we watched some of it back, and you can kind of see me kind of scurry out of the building, so we kind of laughed about that. But yeah, so that was the first case, and it was really interesting. So
Had you heard any stories prior to that before you started?
Not really, no. I have, been really interested in all things paranormal before, so, it's something that I figured it would make sense for building this old something maybe is here. And, so, I haven't heard anything up until that point, and then increasingly I started hearing other stories as well, so that was my...
So how long ago did this start?
This started probably during the summertime when I left, because I was in the building by myself at that time. So yeah.
And you know for sure you were by yourself.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, because otherwise the security will be triggered, and we'll be able to see if there was an entry at the 5th floor or some other floor. So
And I know you have security cameras all over the building, over the floors, all over the building, inside and outside. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was my first incident there. So. I guess for the second incident too, there was another thing that happened, and this one kind of was more, I don't know, it just really freaked me out because again, I was going through closing up the
by
building.
yourself,
by myself again. Yes,
always one's by yourself.
I know, it never happens. Why can't I be with someone? But no, it was in here actually in this studio, and so we make sure everything checks in here too. All the cameras are put away properly and all that. And it was the summertime, so the back curtains right behind us here were open.
Right.
And that wasn't unusual because some members come in and open them up, whether it's for their project or whatever. So I go to close them, and I leave the room, and I go make sure everything else is put away properly. And through the window, I can see, oh shoot, I left the overhead lights on. So I come back in, and this is what really kind of freaked me out. Those curtains that I just had closed were not just open, but they were wide open.
Wide open.
And I'm like, okay, even if I didn't close them all the way, they wouldn't be that, I mean...
And you have to manually do that? There's not a...
Yeah, there's like actually a string too.
Oh, okay.
So it's like old theater curtains where you have to pull it. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. So at first, I try to reason with myself when these things happen. I don't immediately think like, what's going on, there's a ghost here or something.
Most people do.
Yeah. But so I'm like, okay. So I closed them and I'm like, okay, good. So I double checked everything to make sure I didn't have to come back in the room. But so again, I kind of make sure I follow all the procedures and protocol to close. And I remember the last thing was that I forgot to lock that door. So I'm like, oh gosh, I have to go back in there, So I come back into the studio, and I look through the little window through that door over there, and the curtains they weren't wide open like before, but they were open slightly, and that's when I was just like, okay, I locked the door, and then I left.
You ran out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Out,
I know,
Johnny.
But being involved with your group and everything, I'm getting some courage. So yeah, and doing this show, talking about it.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, the first time, it's reasonable to think, okay, well maybe I thought I closed them, but I didn't.
Right.
But the second time that happens, in a row, it's
Then
kind
you're-
of
then
hard
you're-
to be like,
Exactly. You
because
can't really
you knew
reason.
you closed them.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pretty sure. And I wanted to double check that first time because I didn't want to have to come back in here. But the fact that it was still
Yeah.
something, so I don't know.
Well, and it just
really-
sounded like somebody was messing with you.
That's what it
You
sounded.
know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like,
Yeah,
know.
just
And
messing with you.
it's really creepy too, especially going to the basement sometimes as well. I kind of get this every time I leave now. It's like this heavy feeling, like something is watching. Obviously.
And other people are saying the same things about the
Right.
basement.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that they just get this creepy feeling, and the
Right.
hairs on their arms stand up. And
Yeah, and that's what happens to me. Even when I was talking about it, I was just
Yeah.
kind of getting the goosebumps. But yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned that the basement is kind of that area where that
Yeah.
happens, and I heard the male voice too.
Right.
So it almost, and you get that feeling too, like almost like a sixth sense, like this, whatever that was, wanted me to hear it. Like
Right.
the reason why it was making that noise is
Right.
because it wanted to make itself known to me. And
Right.
I just got that sixth sense feeling about, okay, so that's why I think that kind of made me scurry on off. But
And
yeah.
you've been
Yeah.
with us a couple times, so I know you're a little sensitive. You are a little on the sensitive side.
Little
so-
bit,
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't call you full-blown psychic.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, you're a little on the sensitive side.
I would say so,
So,
yeah. And
so
very,
you-
very small, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you would pick up something if there were energy change in the room or whatever. You would probably pick up on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that physical feeling.
Yeah. Well, and I
Yeah.
think we're all a little sensitive. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone, at least a little bit. It's just how much you pay attention to it and acknowledge it. But
Right.
Now, and you're not the only one that's experienced this. Almost everyone that spent
Right.
any amount of time working here or volunteering here
Yeah.
seems to have a story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of all over.
I mean, they're hearing voices up there. They're hearing footsteps.
Right.
Now, a lot of it can be explained. It's an old building, perhaps. And I know they've had some people working up there. So yeah, it's possible. But when people are here by themselves, I think Gary, one of our crew people, and he's a member, and he and another person were here in the building. They were the only ones here, and they heard a loud, huge bang coming from the elevators, and
Yeah.
went out there to check, and I mean, it was loud. He said it was very, very, very loud. They couldn't find anything, nothing. It sounded like something had fallen over, but
Right.
nothing had fallen over.
And from what I understand, they even reviewed the security camera footage
Yeah.
to
Right.
double check, and they didn't see anything. But both him and I believe it was Lisa,
Lisa.
who was at the front desk, they both swear they heard it, and
Yeah.
they have no idea what it is.
We don't know. Yeah, it's actually something that's been happening recently. We're hearing something. We think it's a floor above.
Yeah.
But like almost like footsteps or something.
You're
And we're
right.
like, what is that? And it's not just like footsteps. There's like really pounding, and we're like, is that like some generator? Or what? So we haven't really been able to rule it out, anything like that. But
Right.
but it's still.
And you
odd,
expect the heating and air conditioning unit to give off some, when it heats and cools, it contracts and expands. So
Right.
you expect some little bangings, but not if you're just not the way you're describing thumps and
yeah.
and bangs.
It's pretty
loud
intense.
bangs.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to really pinpoint what exactly it is. So.
Right.
Well, and like you had mentioned, this is a 5-story building plus a basement. So really, we're talking 6 different floors here
Right, yeah.
of possible movement and things happening. So it's and I know that the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floor, they're pretty much empty right now.
For the most part, we have a little bit of equipment on the 3rd floor, but otherwise, yeah, it's all pretty much empty.
Yeah, I know
so-
we've been up to the 4th
Yeah.
and 5th floor, and there's nothing there. I mean, it's all open space and
Yeah.
offices and that
beautiful,
kind of thing.
actually.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
It's
it
very
is. Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm glad most of it's been preserved
Yeah,
and intact.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice to work in this.
Yeah, pretty
building,
much the exterior stayed the same. So it's the inside that's changed a lot, and then
Right.
the B had done that major extension.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a theory out there too that when reconstruction is done in a home or in a building, that tends to stir the spirits up. So, how far along was it? How far back that all of this was restructured for CMAC?
2011.
2011.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, so we're talking pretty recently,
Yeah.
only a
Right.
year or two that this has
Yeah.
been up. So, I mean, it's possible that when all this construction changed, that it.
And then
Yeah.
in 2008, when the Met was here, they did another major renovation on the inside. So
Right.
yeah. So, and then before that, it had been laying vacant for all those years. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's yeah, and then that's true. It's for some reason the spirits don't like change, and they don't like
Right.
things moved around.
Right. This room too, I mean, has been completely transformed.
Yeah.
I mean, into the studio it is now, and with all the activity, being so dormant for a long time, and then all of a sudden more activity again with people now. That's a functioning facility. I'm sure definitely that can add to it
Right.
as well.
And from what I understand, I just learned this morning actually, but this used to all be open air. The studio used to be open air up to at least the floor above us.
The floor, but yeah, actually there's a little stairwell right behind us and it goes up here. That's actually the third floor up there where the light grid's in, but
Right.
it's all blocked off now.
Right.
So
Right.
technically
Right.
it is a stairwell up to the third floor. It's just blocked. So
Stairway to
Well, I
nowhere.
think-
yeah, I know.
I think it was, I mean, it used to go when it was the old Fresno B. I mean, it was all, I mean, there was a stairway in the center and it went all the way up to
Oh, wow.
before the 5th floor, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still see the pillars, you
Wow.
know, that it's all enclosed now, but you can still see
You
the
still see
pillars.
'em, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's, you know, it was huge. It was
Yeah,
huge.
large, yeah.
Yeah.
So what other stories have you heard from other people?
I've heard some other stories. A big one that really kind of caught my attention. This was after the fact that I experienced the first floor incident. Was a member here. She was here with her grandmother and a baby,
And I think that was.
and that was Gardenia.
Gardenia, yeah.
was here, yes. And she had started asking me like, oh, you know, can we kind of check out the bottom floor because we may want to put a little function together for some CMAC members and do some filming and whatever.
Okay.
So, you know, we got some approval there and they were able to just look down there briefly. So they went downstairs just to kind of check it out. And her grandmother, who she is a sensitive. I
Right,
did not know this
right.
Oh,
before,
okay.
but she
Right.
told me after the fact. They went downstairs and she was kind of looking around. Her grandmother said she really doesn't feel right. She doesn't feel good down here. And she was holding the baby. She's like, let's just go back upstairs. I don't really feel comfortable here. And when she said that, the baby had started crying for no apparent reason. So that was something that really took her back. And then they're like, okay, let's go back upstairs. And she immediately told us, you know. And yeah, so I was like, oh gosh, a few weeks ago I heard a voice down there. So you know, okay,
You didn't tell her that, though.
no, I didn't tell her that. Yeah, yeah. So that was before. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of reassured me that okay, there really is probably something down there.
She's
so.
never been back, right?
She hasn't been back. No, no, she hasn't. But
Because of that situation?
I don't.
or-
I
don't
think
know.
she's just been really busy. She's a student, so
Oh,
she's
okay.
all.
And I did try to email her, but her email address was no
I'm sure, yeah, she's been busy, but yeah, I think that's something her and her family were used to, maybe having her grandmother sense
Yeah.
those things. So, yeah, it was really interesting to hear that.
So of all the floors, well, we're going to do a little
Yeah.
investigation.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I'm
that's-
excited.
Yeah.
we just kind of walk around a bit.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably hit the basement for sure.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
3rd floor and maybe the 1st floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. So, well, you've been here the longest. Of all of, there's, the 6
Right.
stories. What are the ones we have to go to?
Well, I definitely want to check out the one above because of all those sounds we've been hearing.
That's
So the
third.
third,
The third floor,
Okay.
yes. And the other ones, I've been up there maybe once or twice, and I haven't felt anything. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something up there too. So
Okay.
we'll have to see.
So third floor,
And the
Third floor,
basement,
basement.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Definitely.
right. We'll check it out.
Maybe the 1st floor too, because that's
Yeah.
where Gardenia and her grandmother felt
Oh.
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's kind of like it's
We- we
interesting.
didn't-
The first floor is sort of like it feels like a basement, but it's the very most bottom
Okay.
floor. They were technically on the 2nd floor. It's an interesting design here. It
Yeah.
kind of confused
Yeah.
me at first,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, when we hopefully we'll find hear something or find something again because I need
That
some
would be
reassurance
neat.
too.
That would be
you know.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what we're going to do is take our little cameras and recorders down there. We'll take a camera and we're going to go down and just check it out. Probably a little bit towards the end of the show, but yeah, we just kind of want to check it out, see what's going on, see if Krista can pick up anything, Johnny can pick up anything, and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Excellent. I'm
You're going to stick around with us for the rest of the show, right?
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
all right,
yeah,
good.
I'm
We got
excited.
a video clip. I think you're going to be
Oh
interested
yes,
in.
yes, I will. It's nice to be on this side of the camera. as
Yeah,
opposed to-
break-
yeah.
break for
Johnny's
you.
usually our director. He's usually directing.
He's an
This is
amazing
new.
director
Yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and now we have Steve directing.
Yes. Doing good, Steve.
You
Yes,
better be doing good, Steve.
Doing good. Okay.
All right. We actually got a video from one of our viewers named Terry, and this actually looks pretty interesting. You may or may not have already seen this on the news, but it seems like some security personnel were watching the monitors of a bar area after closing at the Plaza Resort and Spa in Daytona Beach, Florida. And it looks like a ghost wandering around the hotel bar. At one point, they actually sent out a security guard to check it out, telling him to go behind the bar. And the security guard got spooked and kind of ran out. Now, the luxury hotel itself is 100 years old or so, so who knows what this might be. Let's watch the clip if we can cue this up, and we'll take a look at it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it
Look
is.
at that. Look how it moves.
I mean, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, and it moves like as one. It's not like
Yeah.
smoke,
Right.
where
It's
smoke
like
would
it was under the
dissipate.
bar first. And then
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now see, it looks like it's hiding.
It does actually.
It hides, and then you see the security guard on the right-hand side coming in. He's
and
checking. They're telling him to go behind the bar.
And he's like, I ain't going back there.
Yeah, no way.
I don't blame him though. And then there it starts to move.
Then he leaves, and then it comes up again.
Right.
You'll see it comes up.
Yeah, so there it
That's how I looked when I left the building.
You were like, get out of
forget it.
here.
But that is amazing. I mean, yeah, I always try to explain to people fog and mist, like a flock of birds, how when they turn together like
Right.
this.
Right.
Okay.
It's doing the same
It does
thing.
have that movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has that movement like a flock of birds.
Right. So I mean, this obviously it's not a puff of smoke coming off of a grill or anything.
Correct.
I mean, it's not fog. We're talking about an indoor area, and like you said, this is a cluster.
Yeah, it's an IR security camera. All the lights were off. Everything was closed up. So I don't know what time of the day or night it was. I'm assuming it was night.
It seems
Okay.
like it's intelligent too. You know, it was responding to the guy like
Right,
coming in,
right.
so
Exactly.
it was
Right.
aware.
It was
you know,
aware.
Yeah.
A good choice of words because exactly it was aware.
Yeah.
I mean, even at one point, you almost see it like take on a kind of a humanoid shape.
It,
You
it
know,
changed
elongates.
shapes, right?
It did,
Yeah.
It almost like takes on like a humanoid shape, and then it kind of bunches up again. So yeah, I mean, I've sat and watched that probably, I don't know, a gazillion times.
Yeah.
You know, trying to pick it apart and trying
Right.
to, figure out, okay, how is it moving? Why is it doing this? Whatever. So
Yeah. And now the hotel is saying that this is raw footage, that it's
Right.
unadulterated.
Right.
I mean, obviously, there's always a possibility
Yeah.
that somebody did it as a hoax, and maybe the hotel doesn't know about it. Could have
Right.
been a rogue employee, but I
Right.
mean, it could have been anything. But from the looks of it, it appears to be a genuine.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
figure the security guards were in the security room and they were watching the monitors, and then they see this.
Mm-hmm.
They go, "What is that?"
to film it,
and
yeah.
they film it. It's already being filmed. I mean, there's obviously no sound, but it was on the news. One of the news channels there in Daytona Beach, they aired it.
Mm-hmm.
They got the security footage, went in and did a whole little 6-7 minute news item
Right.
on it. So.
And then, of course, that made it to YouTube. And
That made it to
yeah,
YouTube,
it
and then a
starts,
couple
yeah,
other stations
viral,
picked
right,
it up, and some other. I mean, it's all over YouTube now.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it was. I think it aired October 31st, which was Halloween, obviously.
Oh yeah. of
But
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we got a hold of just the video part so that we could play it.
Well, what's interesting about it too is like it seems like the security guard's probably filming on their phone. It's vertical. So he was filming the program that was capturing it, because I noticed when he was panning the camera around, the bottom, you saw the play, the pause, and a security program. So it
okay.
wasn't.
I didn't
like, of
realize
course,
that.
it
Yeah.
takes a director to notice something
Can
like
we
that.
see that again? Can you play
it-
that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the program for the security.
Here it comes.
It's towards the end, I think. Because he's filming with the cell phone on the monitor, and he kind of pans it down a little bit, and you can see that it's a security program he's filming. It's not just straight
Okay.
from an
I didn't
editing.
pick that up.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't either.
I think it's towards the end.
See, look how elongated it gets, and then it.
It does. See that
Oh,
program?
yeah,
It's in
yeah.
a program.
Okay.
I thought that was part of the security camera. It's
Yeah.
the security monitor. In there.
Good eye. See, so that makes me think it's even more real then, because I mean, if he's just using his camera phone,
To film the program, the security program. yeah.
right?
It doesn't look like it's a video editing software or anything like that. See right there.
Yep.
See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't even
Well,
notice
couldn't
that.
be on their? Couldn't that be on their?
No,
on
that
their
wouldn't
security
show.
camera?
The security.
Or the monitor? Would that be on their monitor? I don't know. I've
I'm
never
not quite
seen-
sure actually. Maybe the layout to see all the different cameras that are seen around the
Well, you got
building.
a split screen. You got
Yeah.
a DVR set up, and you got 6 screens with different cameras
Exactly.
positioned in each part of the
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
So
so-
would you have a pause and play and?
Yeah, because you're able to see
Wow.
like who was just here an hour ago or
Right.
something. You need to rewind
Right.
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have something similar too.
So that doesn't necessarily have to be from a camera phone. It could be from the actual security
Right.
monitor camera.
It could be, but I think
Yeah.
what he's saying is that because we're seeing those buttons, it's probably a camera phone.
from what he's filming is
Okay.
probably the security monitor.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So I
Well,
don't know. Yeah.
Either way, regardless of how it was filmed or whether or not it's real or
Yeah.
faked, it's pretty interesting stuff. I
It
mean,
is,
that's
yeah.
I just don't like camera phones.
You don't like
to catch paranormal. I have a real problem with
Yeah.
camera phones, whether
Yeah.
it's audio or visual. I
see.
don't like them. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think when Terry said it to me, I said this was fascinating. Like I
It
said,
is.
I watched
It
it
is.
a gazillion times already,
Yeah.
so I've been trying to pick it apart, and I just can't find any explanation. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
It is.
So let us know what you guys think. If you tell us what you think, give us a shout out, send us an email, whatever. So
Yeah.
we love to hear opinions on this. It's fascinating to us. So
Yeah.
okay, and Jackie, you have another story for us too.
Yes, and this one is just really kind of ticked me off. So this is where I get to vent.
Yeah, I'll vent
But,
with you on this one.
Yeah. On December 16th, there was a news report, and apparently it was a suspected Clovis ghost hunter trespassing at an old winery fell 30 feet down an abandoned well. And what is wrong with this picture, folks? I mean, come on.
Everything.
Yeah. Responsible hunters know the first rule is always get permission. Yet we still have idiots out there who end up making those who do follow the guidelines look really, really bad. And that's the damage control. I mean, we got to go in and do damage control. But, I mean, and the girl is supposed to be okay. I mean, she wasn't hurt seriously. She's expected to make a full recovery. So, and that's good. But to be there in the first place, apparently there were a group of them, and they decided, and I don't know whether it was an actual team or whether it was just people out for a lark or what, but they were actually supposedly ghost hunting. So, and they broke into this old winery that's been abandoned, and she fell through this abandoned well.
And it's only been a few days since this happened. I know by the time this airs, some more time will go by. But for us, it's only been a few days, so we don't actually have all the details. Like you said, we don't know if they were, a quote-unquote professional team. We don't even know for sure whether or not they were trespassing.
Oh, they were trespassing.
They were?
Oh, yeah, definitely they were trespassing.
Okay.
In fact, I guess the DA is deciding now whether they're going to press charges, and I hope they do.
Okay.
I hope they do, and just
Trespassing.
give them a huge fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and like you said, I mean, it gives a bad name to everyone else who's trying to do this from a professional scientific point of view.
Right.
You get people like this that go out and they hurt themselves. I mean, thankfully she wasn't seriously hurt, because I know when the story first broke, I read some comments saying that when they called 911, they were saying she couldn't move her legs. I don't know if any of that's real. This
Right.
is all just,
Hearsay,
talk.
yeah.
But I'm glad that she's not hurt.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, she's expected to make a full recovery, so it's not like.
But still, I agree with you. I think
It
that
was
they should
scary
be
for her.
prosecuted for trespassing. I
yes.
mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's so irresponsible.
It was very irresponsible.
You know.
And anybody knows their names, if they were with a group, what the group's name, please email me. I want to know who they are. And
So she can scold them personally.
yes, I will scold them personally.
Yeah.
No, but really,
Bring them on the
it's,
show and scold them.
Yeah.
but really, it's just horrible that it happened. I mean, this
Yeah.
that never should have happened.
Yeah, it's
so.
an unfortunate accident. Had they not been there doing something illegal, it would never have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plain
and
and simple.
it's like video production too. You want to, before, even if you're going to do it professionally, first get permission, but also common sense. Like, go in there beforehand,
Right.
or you find the owner.
Right.
Is it all right? Is this safe?
Right.
Just like we did with the Pierce's bar.
Right.
You were able to go in and talk to them, and
Right.
they said just be careful. There's some rickety areas, but
Right.
you
And
know,
we do.
it's
And
just like
for us,
producing,
my
yeah.
team, I always do a daytime inspection, preliminary interview.
Right.
Take pictures, whatever, and notice any holes or boards or loose boards or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Things that might
Take
cause
note
a
of that,
problem.
yeah.
So what kind of lighting there's going to be when we're in there in the dark? you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You got to
I
know
always
those
do that.
things.
I
Yeah.
always do
Yeah.
that. For the
Excellent.
safety of my team is paramount.
And like how you were telling me too, that one investigation where bring gloves, make sure
Right.
we're all safe.
It's
and
dirty place.
It's dirty
Oh
place.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Bring
Some
gloves.
places are just disgusting.
There might be some critters in there, right?
So we did have a bat, and we had
Yeah, we had a bat
possum,
fly,
or it was
yeah.
a raccoon or something was outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But-
Okay. Well, This is the moment of truth, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
You got your psychic hat. I know you don't have a psychic hat, but you got your psychic hat on?
Sure.
Jackie, I don't have a psychic hat.
No, I do have a voice recorder though.
All right, we are on. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Cool. So yeah, this is the studio, of course. Curtains
Yeah.
back there.
Oh, that's a good point. So it was those curtains
Those, yeah.
right back here.
Those curtains back there when I walked
Right.
in.
Yeah.
Who's over here?
Actually, yeah. Do you want? I guess we can get a quick.
Yeah, we might as well. We're here.
Yeah. So these are the curtains that we opened right here
Yeah.
for the sunlight outside, and we generally keep them closed now. But
Oh, okay.
this is what was wide open, even more so than this actually.
Wow.
And then there's another window on the curtain on the other side. But yeah.
Okay,
Kind of freaky.
good
This
to
is
know.
our friend. Do we have a name for our friend here?
She gets all sorts of names. I don't know what the one's on now, but yeah, I don't know.
What you're seeing is
Sarah,
part of the
yeah.
studio, the set. So
Yeah.
Johnny's just showing us where one of his incidents happened.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll go in here.
Now you're coming into the.
The control room.
Hang on just a second. You're coming into the control room. This is where all the magic is made. The first step, anyway. So this is the first step where all the magic is made. Then the editing, post-production is where the second magic is made.
Yeah.
But this is the control room where they turn up my voice or turn my mic off.
Yeah.
Bleep out my words, okay?
All right.
And as we're moving along, okay, this is the reception area, and there's Hope.
Hi, Hope.
Some other stuff, yeah.
She's, you want anything, you talk to Hope first. All right, we're going into the big room, the editing
Conference
room.
area, lecture room, editing space,
Right,
all sorts of names.
yeah. And this is where the second part of the magic is made, is over here where the computers are. And we do all the editing, post-production work over there, add the music, voiceovers, anything we need, special graphics, that's where that's done. And then we're gonna be heading out towards the elevators, going up to the 3rd floor.
You gonna take the freight elevator?
No, take the, the freight elevator. Oh, look at the
Okay,
big
so the
elevator.
Big elevator.
Big elevator.
Only trained staff.
And this is the one that gets stuck all the time, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
okay.
So,
I can't even
we wanna-
send up smoke signals.
We're trapped. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. That's the nail. in the
That's
coffin.
very good. That's the nail in the coffin.
It almost didn't stop there.
Yeah. Well, this is cool.
So we're going to the 3rd floor first.
Right.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
just
some
arrived.
things stored up here.
Right.
Otherwise, it's pretty much, no one comes up here that often. But this is where we hear some sounds.
Yeah.
As of recent, the past month or so, we've been hearing it sounds like not just like little footsteps, but it sounds like someone's doing this.
And it's like 4, 5, 6 in a row?
Yeah, it's weird. And then it stops after like 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay.
And we're like, what is that? So we look on the security footage and we don't see anything. So we're just wondering, maybe is it something in the walls? We don't know. So at this point, we're.
And I think one explanation was the heating and cooling system.
That could
but
be.
that won't make 5 or 6 different
No,
footsteps
exactly.
sounding.
Right.
It'll make 1 or 2, but
Right.
that's it. At a
Yeah,
time,
so
anyway.
exactly. So we don't know quite yet. Maybe it is something like that, but hopefully we'll get an answer. If not, then it's a mystery.
Yeah.
So,
Let's
but,
let's walk on over
yeah.
here on this side.
but,
Jackie's already taking pictures.
Flash.
Flash.
So do you want to sit down and do you want to do a EVP session here? What do you
Yeah,
want
let's
to
just
do,
do a
Jackie?
really quick 2-3 minute EVP session.
Okay.
I've had my recorder going the whole time, So if somebody wants to kind of jump in on the conversation, they're certainly more than welcome.
Okay.
You want to start?
Let me here. Actually, sure. Okay, so we're going to start an EVP session for those of you that haven't seen this done. I'm sure you all have because we are paranormal investigators. Come over here, Jackie.
Electronic
Get closer.
voice phenomena is what we're looking for.
So we are on the 3rd floor of the CMAC building, and I'm just going to ask everyone to try to hold still, be quiet. Even the shuffling of feet can get picked up on these. Okay, so if there's anybody here, please let your presence be known. And what we're doing is just allowing some time after each question for any spirits to answer, because you don't want to talk over them. Go ahead.
Hello? Is anybody here? Is anybody here with us? We just came to visit. Can you give me a big hello? I can't hear very well, so if you could speak up really loud, I'd appreciate it. Can you tell me your name? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you a child? Do you work here? Did you work here when it was a museum? Did you work here when it was the newspaper? You could speak up really loud for me, I'd appreciate it. Or you can make some kind of sound. Let us know you're here. John, you want to ask anything?
Are you the one that's been stomping around up here? If you are here now, can you make a knock or some sort of sound for us?
There was a tingy sound right there, but I think it was from outside.
Yeah, I think so too. Sound like somebody yelling.
Mhm.
It sounded like, Hello? We're going to leave you now, but you're certainly welcome to follow us around. Make your presence known. Like to say hi. Find out who you are. You could do that for us? Okay then. We're going to go on, move on.
Okay. So pretty quiet.
Yeah, for the most
Hear
part.
anything.
And sometimes it's not until you analyze the clip after that's when you really
Exactly.
pick up some sounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, no. We're going to do first class.
Friendly real quick.
Yeah.
Green for this particular
Yeah.
one? Yeah, I think it was just a color that the museum chose.
Left over
Yeah, I
from
mean,
the...
even the stairwell, it's
Yeah.
all green in there too.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they just had extra green screen paint left over.
Yeah, I know that. I know. That's what I was kind of thinking too.
Usually I see gray, kind of like in the county buildings, city buildings, it's gray. It's stairwells.
Okay, so we're at the
This-
ground floor,
yeah.
which is technically the first floor.
Technically first floor, and again, it has like a very basement kind of feel to it. Watch out. So yeah, if you wanted to, I can walk you through exactly what I was talking about
Sure.
earlier.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So usually when I leave for the day, we come out from this elevator and this at the end of this hall. So I left the elevator and I started walking this way. It wasn't until I kind of passed this particular pillar here where I heard the voice from way back there, where that stairs
Okay.
hatch, whatever, I don't know what that is actually, it's just a doorway. And our security computer is right over here too, so the way I was walking. So I kind of stopped and I was like, I thought there was maybe like someone hanging out right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is usually, sometimes people will hang out here at night and stuff, so. But I looked, there was no one there, no one in the building, I was the last one out. The voice is coming from that end over there, the exit, so. There's also another set of bathrooms just above, on the next level is where the bathrooms are at too.
Okay.
So plumbing, I don't know, maybe something, but it
So
was
what
summertime.
is that anyway?
I couldn't tell you what this is actually, I don't know.
That's really
I don't even know
unusual.
if it's, yeah, you can't really open it, so it's
Okay.
locked. But I was from this area back here, so yeah.
And the stairs are here.
The stairs are right there.
And you were alone in the building.
I was alone in the building. Right.
Okay. And that's just the sprinkler room, basically.
Right.
Okay, so there's,
Wow, that is a bright green.
Yeah, there's a bunch of green in there too, in the stairwell that goes all the way up.
so do you think it came from the hallway, or do you think you heard it from the stairwell?
Usually from the stairwell, if there's a sound or something, you can definitely hear, like you were talking about earlier, everything's connected, so it's very echoey and it'd
Yeah.
be very amplified. But for this particular, it sounded like where I'm talking right now is more like in this condensed area rather
Okay.
than that open stairwell
Right.
shaft area, I guess. But, so yeah, I'm not sure. I guess motion censored lights. Yeah, those came on
We were
too.
standing here 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was now
That's true.
coming
Okay,
on.
that was kind of weird. That was weird.
actually,
Did anybody
that
turn
is-
the lights on? No?
No, no one turned the lights
Wow,
on.
okay, that was kind of weird, actually.
Okay, that was a little strange.
Because
Yeah.
now these are supposed to be motion censored.
Right.
For I believe so.
Yeah.
For this
Yes.
floor, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Even
you're
if
right.
yeah, and if they're not motion censored, that's even more
Yeah.
disturbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna run that?
Yeah.
Wanna run that now?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Something interesting.
Yeah.
Did you want to ask any questions while we're down
Um,
here, Jackie, or no? Do you want to go into the
Let's
main
go into
area?
the main area.
Okay.
Let's go into the main area.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, this used to be the gift department for the museum, the
Yeah.
gift area, gift whatever.
This open door always kind of makes me feel uneasy.
Anything, Jackie?
I'm not picking up anything. It's not just from my little LED screen, so it might be different when I get it home on the computer, but
Check it out, yeah.
I haven't noticed it. I think we can, let's get out of the basement. I mean, that's, a lot of people get creepy feelings down there in the basement.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
Well, I know a few people that work here have mentioned the basement as being kind of creepy. Now I'm starting to wonder if they're talking about this floor or the first or the ground floor. But we came down here a little bit earlier, and one of the first things that we noticed is above us you can see all this conduit. You have water, you have electricity. The reason why we wanted to bring it down here tonight is to see what this does, because when I hold it up here, you can actually hear it. That has us at about, the higher I get, I can get all the way up to, that's off the scale, but I can get all the way up to a 10. That's how high the magnetic field is in here. So what that does to us physically is it can give people just the general heebie-jeebies. We're talking, goosebumps, your hair raising on end. The feeling of being watched is actually very common when there's high EMF.
Losing your equilibrium,
Yep.
getting a headache.
You feel dizzy, yeah. So a lot of times when people say, oh, there's just this one spot in my house or this one spot in my building, I just feel awful and I always get the creeps when I'm there. Most of the times this will answer your question. You can say, oh, well, that's because you have conduit, you have pipes, you have something going through here. Water will even set this off.
Conductor of electricity,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yep, even water pipes. But that being said, there is another theory I've heard as well, that the more of this you have around, the spirits can also feed off of that. So there is kind of this idea that where you find this, the spirits may like it. So should we ask some questions down here
Yeah,
since we
let's
have
do-
all this energy?
Yeah, they use it, it takes energy to manifest, to talk, walk, just like we need food, so
Right.
they need energy, and so to be able to do all those things. So we're supposing that if a spirit is here, that they will feed off this, boost their energy, and be able to talk to us or show themselves or whatever.
Exactly.
So go ahead.
Okay. Do we want to turn lights off, or can we turn lights
I
off?
don't think I looked for a panel. I didn't see one.
Well, and let me bring that up real fast too about having the lights on or off versus
Okay.
during an investigation. You always see it done at nighttime. That's not necessary. Ghosts don't care what time of day it is. I think the benefit though to having the lights off is for us because we lose our visual sense. So we have to rely more on our audio, our ears. We have to rely more on our, our skin. It picks up sense, that touch, that feel. We feel things. So it just kind of heightens our own awareness, which is why a lot of people, I think, do it in the dark. But let's go ahead and ask some questions, unless you had anything else to...
Do it in the dark.
Oh, did I say that?
You said that.
Sorry, you know what I meant. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Who?
All right.
I'm thinking of Scott.
Oh. Yeah, he would have caught that too.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to lead it?
Sure.
Okay.
Hello? Is there anybody here? We'd like to say hello. Can you say hello back? Can you tell us your name? How long have you been here? Did you used to work here? I can't hear you. Can you really speak up loud for me? Because I can't tell whether you're here or not. And I'm really hard of hearing.
There's pipes everywhere. If you're here, can you knock one so we can hear it? Can you make some noise?
Is this where you hang out? What was that? If that was you making that noise, can you make it again? Krista walking. Cameras rolling. Me walking. There's got to be some high EMF in here. Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm not even holding that up to anything. That's just in the middle of the room. But
Yeah.
this is really weird. There's a big X in the wall.
Oh.
A couple old coffee machines.
If you're here, give us a sign that you're here. Knock on something. Touch one of us. Touch Johnny. He loves that kind of stuff. See Johnny run.
It doesn't go far back. It's just a couple old.
Hey, you're not
coffee
picking up
machines.
anything?
Well, this went off the charts,
Yeah.
but no, other than that, I kind of have that whole body tingle thing,
Yeah.
but I blame that on the
Yeah,
all the
that's exactly
electrical around.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of electrical.
Urgent
I'm just
legends.
done.
Urgent
I'm
legends.
urgent. Oh, now they're making fun of me. I just
Well,
can't talk anymore today.
I think we're just about done here.
Yeah.
Kind of give you a little bit of what we do and kind of show you around on CMAC a little bit. Maybe, hopefully you want to come down and check it out for yourself. We're going to go through our pictures and recordings and see if we picked up anything. Keep your fingers crossed. If we do, we'll bring it up at the next show.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
happy trails and see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we're moving. We do have some
Okay.
items of interest, and I want to let everybody know, in case you haven't heard, there is a group of dedicated folks. Oh, by the way, this comes from Lisa Joppa from Save the Wolf Manor, and a group of dedicated folks want to stop the proposed demolition of the haunted Wolf Manor. Allow more time for the property owner to comply with city and county demands for code enforcement. They need 1,000 signatures to present to the Clovis City Council, and they are more than halfway there, but they still need your help. The deadline is February 1st, so you only have a few days, so go check out their FB page, their
Facebook
page, Save the Wolf, for updates, and if you haven't already, sign the petition. I hope to have more on this as things progress. So sign that petition.
Yeah, and and the Wolf Manor, for anybody that's local here in the Fresno Clovis area, it's the local haunt. I mean, it is.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to know about it.
Everyone.
In this area.
Well,
yeah.
Back in
It's been on TV. It's been on TV. I don't know how many times, but I mean, the place is haunted.
It
the
is.
place
Yeah, it
is
is.
haunted.
It is, yeah.
There is paranormal activity, and it's a shame. It's not only is it a historical landmark but in itself.
And that's what I was going to say. Regardless of the fact of whether or not it's haunted, it should be considered a historical landmark.
Right.
I mean, don't just tear the whole thing down. And that's the point of this whole petition, is to help save them.
Yeah, help save that. Give them more time to bring it up to code.
Right.
That's really all it is. So. Anyway.
Okay, so a few other announcements. Just what's going on in Fresno. Lady Antebellum is coming to Fresno March 16th. Yep, 7 p.m. at the Save Mart Center. Along with Lady Antebellum is also appearing is Kip Moore and Casey Musgraves. So you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Tomorrow on January 30th is Pink.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
And you're going. She's going.
I better be going.
Yeah.
God,
Nice.
you get the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got to tell us how that went anyway.
Oh, that's
yeah.
not. Oh, yeah, I will later.
Yeah, later, the next
Okay,
show.
another
The next
time.
show. Yeah. But yeah, Pink. You can get
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
Pink. That should be dynamite.
I'm excited.
That should be dynamite.
I'm excited.
All right. Going into our 9th year, the Paranormal Studies 101 is a 5-week course learning the basics in ghost hunting. It starts Tuesday, March 4th, and we talk about what equipment we use, what we look for, where we go, and how we investigate. An overnight trip to a haunted site is included, so visit our website at www.ccpifresno.org for a full description and syllabus. Register at fas.asapconnected.com, and we'll post those on screen for you. Also on March 22nd, I will be giving a PS 102 intermediate workshop for those who want to pursue the technical side with an emphasis on how to analyze your photos, video, and electronic recordings. The PS 101 is a prerequisite, and for this workshop, a laptop is required. Contact me for any information you want on the PS 101 or 102 at ccpifresno@aol.com. Okay.
Okay, so next on our list, if you have not been on the USS Hornet, here's your chance to hunt for ghosts, skywatch for UFOs, and listen to some great speakers. Like, I looked at the list of speakers on this, and
it's dynamite.
wow, dynamite. So it's set for
I would like to.
You
Yeah,
should
sign
go.
me up. Yeah, sign me up. Yeah.
So it's set for February 21st and 22nd, and it's going to be hosted by the Alameda Paranormal Researchers in cooperation with the USS Hornet. The annual Gray Ghost Paracon on the USS Hornet will happen in San Francisco. So, I mean, do you really need an excuse to go to San Francisco? Because if so, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theme this year is UFOs and the military connection. This is also a fundraiser with all the proceeds going to USS Hornet Education Department. So go to www.grayghostparacon.com for more information. And of course, you can also check out the Alameda Paranormal Group at alamedaparanormal.com.
Yeah, and one of our speakers on UFOs next year is going to, well, later this year, is going to be speaking at that Paracon.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
this is,
so, yeah.
and I love that the theme changes every year. So I'm kind of
Yes.
excited about
Yes.
it. I've never been
Yes.
to, I've done a lot of ghost themed conferences. I've never been to a UFO theme
something
conference.
good
So
for you, huh?
Yeah.
this might be kind of
You know,
fun.
they're just starting. The first one I saw came out last year, and it was an all paranormal thing. Of course, we did our Columbia conference. We included all things
Right,
paranormal.
right.
I think that was the first I'd seen in a long time, or at all.
Yeah.
Then I saw another one come out last summer. It was in Sacramento, and I really wanted to go and wasn't able to. But they're going to encompass all things paranormal, not just
Very
ghosts,
cool.
not just UFOs, not just Bigfoot, not just whatever.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
everything.
I think
That's
people
nice.
are finally getting a clue.
Good, good.
So whatever.
All right.
Hey, you want to know more? Want to know more about CMAC? Become a member and create a journey of your own. Go to www.cmac.tv and check them out. We did, and voila,
Here we are.
here we are. Okay, well that's it for us. We'll go through our photos and recordings to see if we've captured anything. Meanwhile, want to see what CCPI is up to? Check our website, ccpi.cc. I can't say that. I'm putting it on the screen.
We'll put on the
CCPI.fresno.org.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the screen so you can. I get tongue twisted.
Right, and of course, visit castelcurandero.com to see all of our upcoming classes. For 2014, we have all levels of both Usui and Karuna Reiki classes. We've also recently started something called Indigo Circle, which is going to be every other week, rotating Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I know it's kind of confusing. For February, the dates are going to be the 11th and the 26th. You can get more information either on our website or on our Facebook page. So check us out. We got all sorts of incredible classes planned, including
Sounds good.
making your own shamanic native drum taught by a wonderful, wonderful woman named Vicki Dobbs.
Yes.
Yeah, she supplied the kids class
Yes, the
with
kids
drums.
class with drums, yeah.
This one, instead of just supplying the drums, you actually get an opportunity to make your own drum. I've done it with her before, and
We
wow.
want to do that, but the logistics.
Yeah,
aren't there.
it's an experience. So check it out for all of our classes. We got lots of stuff going on.
You want to go to that UFO conference?
Yes.
Let me know because I'm starting to make reservations and stuff, and let you know. I'll send you the
course.
link.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link to
send
the
me
website so you can check
I'll
it
spread
out.
the word too, because
Yeah.
I have some friends who would probably
Oh
be
yeah,
interested
actually,
too,
it's mostly UFOs. They're going to do a sky watch. They're going to do a ghost investigation on the Hornet. Some of the speakers they're really incredible. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Excellent,
Get to
yeah.
sleep on the ship in one of the bunks, and the bunks are like this wide and maybe that long.
Oh wow, okay, all right. I'll try to get prepared.
And they're like stacked 3 and 4 high.
Oh, gosh,
Hopefully you can go with us. That'll be
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be
great.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, you and
definitely.
Kelly. Yeah, that'd be
well,
great.
We'll have to mark our calendars.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Johnny, thank you so much
Thank
again
you.
for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, everyone to mark your calendars. The last Wednesday of each month on the same channel, the same time. Come watch us. We're here. So I hope you've enjoyed our show, and we'll join us again next time when we talk about more paranormal topics with our special guests and give you the news about things that go bump in the night and, of course, in the day as well. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at paranormaljourneys1@gmail.com. Again, a special thank you to Johnny Pacina and CMAC for our show, and on behalf of Jackie and myself,
Take care and be safe.